Hi everybody, thanks for coming back. I'm Amy Lamash and this is my blog, Hudson Valley Knits. I am Memers on Ravelry, and that's Mimers, and I am Memers66 on Twitter and Instagram. So, thanks for coming. I have been really busy. I think it's been 2 weeks since I last put a video up on YouTube, and I've been knitting feverishly on my Rhinebeck sweater, and I have a lot to show you, a lot of progress to show you there. A little bit on my sock, not much. I'll still show it to you, but I'm still on the leg portion. And I have some goodies to show you, and just some cool nitty stuff to talk to you about. What have I been doing? If you notice, my hair today looks really nice. It's because I got my hair cut this morning. Don't expect me to look this pretty in the future. Yeah, but I did get my hair cut this morning. It was a beautiful weekend. It was so humid for the past week. It was just disgusting. And today been a nice change, although I've been busy around the house and stuff. It was still nice, good sleeping weather, nice and cool. So before I get into showing you all my good stuff, I am just totally obsessed with Rhinebeck. And if you're not going to Rhinebeck, I just want to say that I don't mean to talk about this to make anybody feel sad or like they're missing out. There's a lot of things that I'd love to go to that I can't, like SSK or and just other fiber events. But it is a wonderful event, and I hope that you can find a local fiber event that you can go to and have these kind of experiences. But I am going to Rhinebeck, and I am extremely excited. And please, anybody going, get in touch with me. You can email me at memers66@aol.com, or you can tag me through Ravelry, because I would love to meet new people. That's one of the things about Rhinebeck is, I live an hour away, and I've been going to Rhinebeck for ages before it was this huge. As a matter of fact, I remember when the Sheep and Wool Festival only had half of the fairgrounds on that day, and the other half was it was like geology or something like that, mineral festival or something, and they had all kinds of stones and jewelry and things like that and gems, and that was mostly on the side where the food is, and then the Sheep and Wool Festival was all just in the barn areas, and they had very little. Well, they had some fiber, and then the food was where it still is in the wine and cheese area. That was always there, but that was many years ago when my daughter was little. I would say we're talking about 10 to 15 years ago, somewhere in that 10 to 15 year range. I didn't go every year, but I went a lot, almost every year, as any year I possibly could. Mostly because I thought it was a great experience for my daughter. She loved to see the animals. I was into the gems too. I like to collect crystals and things like that. I'm into that kind of stuff. So I've been going for a really long time, and I've seen it evolve into what it is today. And let me tell you, I think I noticed it in like 2008. I noticed like this huge influx of people. I think I'm trying to remember the last year. I remember there being 2005, maybe. I don't remember when the Gem Fest was there, but it's become enormous. There's lots of people, and I have to say that one of the things I regret is that I drive there each day, and I don't go to a hotel afterwards, and I know I'm missing a lot of the fun. And I just wish that I had people to hang out with after the fair to talk to and show all my stuff to and get all excited with and sit and chat about the day with and knit with. And I guess what I'm doing is I'm saying if you wouldn't mind some company and you're staying nearby and you don't mind some people, like I'm going with a couple of friends Saturday, and I can't speak for them, but I would love to hang out with people afterwards. I know that the 2 years that I did go to the Ravelry party afterwards, it was so much fun. And I understand, I guess, why they can't do it anymore. It's must be very expensive and time consuming, and I don't blame them for just wanting to enjoy the festival, but when they stopped doing that, I was so sad. Last year, I felt so lonely. My daughter had gone away to college, so she wasn't there. Usually she goes. And a couple of my friends from my local knitting group were going to come as well. But one of them lost her brother that week, and so she couldn't come, and the other one didn't come because she was good friends with, and need to be there for the arrangements and whatnot. So I was all alone last year, and while it was a beautiful festival, I felt lonely. I felt like I was missing out on a lot of what makes Rhinebeck so wonderful, and that is camping out or bunking out with other people or hanging out in hotel lobbies with other people and talking about the day. So I guess I'm asking if anybody wants to extend an invitation. I would love to hang out and chat after the festival. I'm going again Sunday because I'm taking a class both days. But Sunday, actually, we're hoping my husband can get the day off from work. My husband's a chef, and actually, he's a chef that graduated from the Culinary Institute, which is also up there. So if you're dining there, you're very lucky. I'm more lucky because I have a CIA chef at home. And so, like I was saying, he's going to try and get Sunday off, and maybe we'll bring my mother-in-law up. She's she's not well, and we would need to push her around in a wheelchair, which is why we would go up on a Sunday, because Saturdays are so packed, it would just be impossible to get around with someone in a wheelchair. I know there are a lot of people that come up with baby carriages, and I really feel bad for them because it's hard to get through the crowds sometimes when you have something large to push. So we're going to go up, hopefully Sunday, we'll have my mother-in-law, and that will be more like a family thing, but Saturday I'm really looking for people to hang out with. The other thing I want to mention about Rhinebeck is if you're going, there's a thread on the Rhinebeck group, and it asks, so what is on your shopping list? And I was really glad they put that up there because I started to think, well, what is on my shopping list? I had a few things I kind of knew I wanted, but I hadn't really thought like exactly what I wanted. I know that I'm not going to buy as much yarn this year because I've recently started spinning, as you probably know, and I'd like to get some good fibers, which I put up there, and I asked for some suggestions, which I got, which was good. And then the other thing I am definitely going to get is some Nona yarn from Spirit Trail Fiberworks, and hopefully some Suna from her as well. I want to get some more spindles, maybe two, maybe even three, dare I say. It's a lot, but I have one, a Bosworth spindle that I showed you in my very first video that I love, but I'd like to get one like a little lighter, and I'd also like to try a Turkish spindle. And then I'm also thinking maybe I should get a nice spindle that's a little heavier to make it like a thicker yarn with, and not just be spinning thin yarns. So I'd like to get also a woolly winder bobbin from Hanson Crafts because they will be there. So I'm definitely going to get that. The most coveted thing I'd like to get, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be like crying if I don't get it. I don't have one now. So is the Jenny the Potter mug. I know they're expensive, and I tell you, I'm not one that's going to wait online for it just to have one. But I am taking a class Saturday morning. And if you're taking a class, you're allowed in early. I don't know how early because I haven't gotten the class information yet. But I'm wondering if it might be possible before the class. The class is supposed to start at 9, and that's when the gates officially open, the fair officially opens. I'm wondering if I could, like, sneak out and try and get that mug, like, right at 9 and be, like, 5 minutes late for the class. I don't know. I don't know. Is that wrong? Is that bad? I know if I don't do that, I don't have a chance in hell of getting a mug. But I want a really cool, yarny, sheepy mug. It doesn't even have to be the Rhinebeck mug, although that would be really cool. I just want a nice, sheepy mug. So we'll see. I know there was another vendor last year I saw that was selling pottery items. So maybe I could find something nice from them. I don't know. So that's Rhinebeck. That's what's been on my mind a lot lately. So yeah, we're about a month away, like 4 or 5 weeks away, and I got a lot of knitting to do for my Rhinebeck sweater. Let me tell you, but you'll see that later. So what else is going on? Oh, I just want to mention, in case you're interested, a lot is gone already. But there's still a lot of beautiful things. If you look at my profile on Ravelry Memers, I have updated my stash with a lot of really nice stuff, really quality, nice fibers, including a sweater's worth of yarn. And I'm going to show you a few of the things that I still have available at the end of this video. But I just wanted to mention that in case you're interested in my D-stash, you would be helping me raise some money for spending at Rhinebeck and buying some fibers so that I can keep spinning. All right, so I just wanted to mention that. Thanks, though. All right, so let me show you my new yarn. I got this last month, and I'm almost certain I didn't show it to you in the last video. I got this. If I did, I apologize, but it is gorgeous, and it's worth showing again then. It is the club yarn from Spirit Trail Fiberworks, and it doesn't have a name other than 2013 Knitting Club, but it's a CVM yarn, CVM farm yarn. It's really, really nice. This is a great sweater yarn, and I don't know if I don't know, you can really kind of see all the colors she put in it. You would have to, I don't know if she could dye this more consistently. I love the color. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it, but oh my gosh, is it gorgeous. It is just lovely. I really, really, if she makes this a new base, I would scap up as much as I can. Let me see if I can. CVM form. So it's got 20% silk in it, about 250 yards, and she said that the supplier called it a DK weight, but it really, and I agree, it's more like an Aran weight. And it's nice and tightly spun. Not sure how many plies it has. Doesn't really say here. It's really nice. It's really, really nice yarn. I hope she makes this if you see some CVM fiber or yarn for sale, I would recommend it. So that's that. I also joined the Plucky Classics. I don't know if I'm going to really stay on it because I have such a surplus of yarn. I know we all do, don't we, right? But I'm really, and plus I'm starting to spin my own yarns, and so that creates yarn that I need to knit. It's my mother. Hold on, excuse me. But I really like the Plucky feet. And here's the Plucky feet. They're both the same color. You can see it the color better if I hold it back. It's like a charcoal with like a hint of, it's with a blue undertone. It's almost like a cloudy sky, and the color is called Snap Out of It, and the inspiration is the movie Moonstruck. This is a good view of the color, but I also got the Plucky Primo Sport in the same colorway. I love their Primo. Their Primo is to die for. Here, let me show you it doesn't look good up close, but so the Primo Sport is 275 yards, and it's a merino cashmere nylon. You could definitely make a sock out of this. And then the Plucky Feet is just, I believe, it's merino and nylon. It's not superwash, but I love the Plucky Feet. I've used it on a shawl before, and I've used the Primo fingering on the same shawl. I use them together. And the Plucky Feet, probably because of the nylon, I used it on the border of the shawl, and it really holds, and it's a lace shawl, and it really holds the lace pattern. It holds the shape really well. Whereas the Primo, probably because of the cashmere, it's kind of shrinking. So it's starting to become, it's losing its stretch from the blocking, but not the Plucky Feet. So I would say that the Plucky Feet, while it's not as luxuriously soft as something with a cashmere blend, it really holds especially for a lace shawl, it holds the pattern really well. So I recommend it for shawls as well as for socks, which is what I would like to knit more of. What I might end up doing is just canceling out the Primo Sport and just get the Plucky Feet and continue that. So that's it for new yarn. Hopefully, I shouldn't have more new yarn at all until Rhinebeck, if I'm a good girl. I also have some new fiber, and I'm really excited about it. And let me just get that here. I got it on Etsy. It's from the Unwind Yarn Company. And this colorway is called Transylvania Tramp. And it's got hot pinks and purples and a little bit of offsetting white. I'll open it up for you. Aren't those beautiful colors? I really like it. And when I saw it, it reminded me of my goddaughter, well, not my goddaughter's, my husband's goddaughter's bedroom. It's all hot pinks and purples. And I thought if I can do a decent job of it, I would make her like a hat and mittens or something with this. It's 4.2 ounces, and it's Polworth and Tussis silk. Oh, maybe after I take those spinning classes at Rhinebeck, I'll have the skills necessary to really do this justice. But I saw these colors and I thought of my husband's goddaughter, and I think it would make her very happy. And then I got from the same vendor, Unwind Yarn Company, this one is called Stop and Smell the Poppies, and it's got beautiful oranges and yellows and almost like a dark brown, almost a black. It smells like she put lavender sachet in the bag, and everything smells divine. But this is Swirl BFL, so it's probably got multiple BFL fibers in it, and that's probably where these veins are coming from or what have you. So I'm excited about this. This is kind of like my first serious fiber stash enhancement. I did bring up some work in progress with my spinning that I'll show you in a minute after I show you my other purchase that I've made. A lot of you know that Amy Beth, the Fat Squirrel Speaks, makes project bags that are very coveted, and you have to be really quick to get them. And I watched a blogcast, and I love her fabrics. I love the simplicity of her bags. I like the nice sturdy handles and the nice zippers, and I've wanted one for a long time. But I didn't have the money or I wasn't on time. So now I had the money and I had the time, and I got home from work Friday, and I even set a reminder on my phone to go upstairs and, hit the refresh, refresh, refresh. I wanted a sweater bag. I'm making a large wrap for my aunt, and I wanted a nice project bag that zipped up to put all that in because it's getting too bad. It's getting too big for the bag it's in right now, which I don't have out here right now, but it's just a kind of like a tote bag with an open top, and I wanted something that zips so stuff doesn't fall out. So I was hoping to get a sweater bag for that. And so I got home from work for Friday night, and I was making some videos Friday night. And just so you know, I was videotaping me grafting the shoulders of the Fair Isle sweater that I'm making for Rhinebeck that I intend on posting on the YouTube channel soon. And my husband, I had a camera rigged. My husband rigged a camera, and we were downstairs in the kitchen. We were having a glass of wine, and he had that my phone up rigged so that it was looking straight down in the knitting. And then with his camera on his phone, he was like getting close-ups of me grafting and I guess whatever he was doing. And he backed into the counter and he knocked over my glass of wine. And then the stem of the wine glass rolled off the counter and fell on his foot and into his foot, right between two toes. And it was bad. I'm not going to go into details because some people might have weak stomachs, so I'm not going to describe anything, but it freaked me out. We put a dishcloth on it, and then I got packing tape, and I wound the packing tape around his foot super, super tight because it was bleeding very profusely. And then we went to the emergency room, and things calmed down. They got the bleeding under, and we're waiting for the physician's assistant to come and stitch up his foot. And the alarm on my phone goes off, saying it was time for the Fat Squirrels update. And I was in the hospital emergency room and not at my computer. But my husband was going to be okay, so I said, honey, I have to do this because, she's going to sell out like really quick. He's like, all right, go. So I think, let me try doing it on my phone. Well, the signal in the hospital, needless to say, was very poor. And then there was like this guest internet access, and it needed a passcode, and I couldn't find a nurse to get me a passcode. And, it didn't happen. And I missed the update on Friday, so I couldn't get a sweater bag. But there was Sunday morning, and Amy Beth, thank you for splitting it up like that, because I would have gotten nothing if you hadn't have done that. So I set another reminder for Sunday morning, and I was up here at 8:45, sitting at my computer, waiting. And I got not one, but two large project bags. Now, they're not sweater bags like I wanted, but I'm sure she'll have more updates, and hopefully she'll make more of her incredible sweater bag. But I got the two patterns, and I love them. And these will be great for shawls, big shawls with like 2 or 3 skeins of yarn. It's really bigger than I thought. And I'm showing you too, and I know she showed you. It's great. It's really great. Probably too big for socks, but perfect for a large shawl. And I got one in both of her styles, fabrics, and I think they're both beautiful. And I like the way my print came out because I got the two beautiful yellow flowers here, and instead of the brown being centered, and I actually kind of like that. So I'm really pleased. Here's the other side. It's very pretty. You know what this reminds me of is, I don't know if you're familiar with tarot cards, but on the Marseille style tarot cards, a lot of the cards have these kind of designs on them. It's very pretty. I can actually show you. Hold on. In case you don't know, I also read tarot cards, and I have lots of tarot decks. But even the colors, and if you see like the designs that you see on a, oh, it's too bright. Yeah, see how it's similar with the floral designs? Let me see if I can find another one. Good one. Yeah. Well, never mind. But here's the cups. They're really beautiful. The bags are beautiful. And it kind of reminded me of that. And I'm a pretty geeky tarot reader, so yeah, I really am so glad I got them. This is like totally me. There's a lot of cute project bags with really, really adorable print fabrics. But I like cutesy sometimes, but I kind of like, I'm not really kind of one that would carry around a bag like that. Not that I wouldn't, but I prefer this kind of stuff. This really, really is such a great fabric. It's sturdy. Well done. Really happy. So those are my acquisitions, and then I'm really running out of time, but I wanted to show you, where did I put it? Oh, here they are. I just wanted to show you really quick what I've done on the spinning wheel. I don't have anything finished from the spindle, but I did start this. This is mixed BFL, and I'm not too happy with it. I think I got kind of sloppy at the end because I wanted to get it done, because I wanted to start on some of the colored fibers that I had. So it's definitely, I could tell I improved with the applying. I made sure I twisted more, so because the first time I applied with the mixed BFL, I hadn't put enough twist in my fiber, so when I was applying, sometimes it was coming apart. So this time I made sure I put tons of twist in, and I might have over twisted in some spots, I'm sure. And then towards the end, I actually got a little sloppy. And then when I was applying, I got even sloppier. So I know I had to take my time and give myself breaks with this. And what helped was me taking breaks and actually going to the spindle, because my hands cramp up when I spin, and I actually get a lot of tension in my shoulders. So I can't spin on the Hansen for very long, but let me see if I can get this. So you can see it's definitely a bulky weight. There are some spots where it's thinner than others, but this is ready to go on the knitting knotty and then go for a bath, and I'll use it. I really will. I love it. And so I did start on the colored. Now this, I'm taking my time and I'm making sure I'm staying consistent. And what I did is I took a little piece of fiber and I stuck it to the machine, so I kind of know the kind of thickness I'm going for. I'm actually going pretty thin. But what I'm really trying to do more than anything is stay consistent. I split all the fibers in half. This was the sampler that I showed you that I got from the website, yarn.com. And I took all the colors. It was a sampler, 2 ounces of different colors and different fibers. And I split each color in half. And I'm basically going to have one ply with one rainbow, the other ply with the same colors, and then I'm going to apply them together and hopefully get a gradient. Or it wouldn't even be a gradient, it would just be like a multicolored, or kind of like a long color changes. So this is where I am with this. I got I think 3 more to go, and then I'll start knitting the other one. And this is one of my 2 woolly winder bobbins, and I need a 3rd one because it's a pain in the neck to apply these, because I have to take one off of one of the bobbins to do it. So that's spinning. So So I have my new fiber, and I still have this beautiful silver merino, which I really love this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I think I'll wait until after my class, so I want to make sure I do it really well. All right, I think that's it. I don't have much more to show you or talk about. Oh, my work in progress. I do have one finished object. And this is my Mundra cuff that I showed you last week. I was in the process, and I was going to give it to my friend. Well, what happened is I didn't like the way that it turned out here. The way it joined to the clasp, it didn't look neat and tight. And then, so what I did is I kind of wrapped yarn around the little loops in the clasp, and every time I take it on and off, it rubs against them, and they're starting to look worn. And then the other thing that made me change my mind was it's hard to get on and off. I'm married. I have a husband. I'm like, honey, can you get this off me? And he can come over and pull it off, or he can put it on for me. But she lives alone, and I'm like, there's no way she's gonna get this on and off without it being a big hassle. So I gave her my Pioneer cuff that I had already made, which she has, so I can't show you, but it came out beautifully. The clasps are beautiful. Yeah, everything about it is beautiful, and she absolutely loved it. So I still had a nice gift for her, and I kept this for myself. And that's how I have to take it off. And actually, my son saw it, and he wants one in some more masculine colors with some beads that aren't shiny. He said he'd like maybe just 2 of them instead of the 3. And I would use some matte beads, not anything shiny or sparkly or glossy. So that's one finished object. The socks, which are these socks, you've seen them probably every week. I'm on the second one still. I'm almost done with the leg part, so we're getting there. But like I said, this is just, I really don't knit on this often. This is just my pocketbook knitting, right? So I'm just sticking this in my purse, and whenever I have time, I take it out and knit on it. So that's where that is. And I'm loving the pattern. I'm loving the yarn. It is let me look it up for you. Hold on. I never remember the name because it's from the Hunter Hammerson. It's called Delius Eucharist Sock, and it's from the Knitter's Curiosity Cabinet, Volume 2. And it's a great pattern. I love it. She really wrote a great pattern, and the Spirit Trail Fiberworks Suna, which is one of the yarns on my Rhinebeck wish list. So anyway, that is that. Now, the Rhinebeck sweater. So here is where I've gotten. I showed it to you last week when I was down by the river, and I was almost done with the body. I was shaping the collar. I was slightly above where I had cast off for part of the collar, and then I was going to start going up, and then I would have the shoulders to graft, which I've done. So let me show you. First off, here is the front. Okay. And here is, like I said, this will be part of the collar down by the collarbone, and then it goes up. And I've already grafted the shoulders. Put these down. So here are the shoulders. Let me see if I can give you a good shot. Isn't that pretty? So this is the shoulder. Oh, I'm so screwed up with this camera. All right. Right, so this going down, there's a blue line right in the middle there, and that was the grafting row, and then all the rest is just like a kind of a finishing pattern she put, and it was perfect for a shoulder seam. Here's the armhole that I have not steeked yet. And here, on this side, you see my sleeve. So I did steek this side. It's on the video that I did. And here you can see what's left of the steek. And these will eventually be trimmed and sewn down against the sweater. But here's what I got done of the first sleeve. It's not much. So basically, when I last saw you, I was about here. I did all this, the shoulders, and this much of the sleeve. I have 5 weeks to go, and the sleeve is not moving as fast as I thought it would. It has less repeats, but it's so cumbersome to have to, because you got it attached to the sweater. That's what the directions called for, to pick up and knit a sleeve, so that's what I did. And yeah, got a long ways to go. Pray for me. I do have a backup plan, and I don't have time to tell you about that now, but maybe next time I'll show you my backup plan. It's a sweater I've already knit, and I'm thinking I'll just change it to a cardigan. I've never done that before. I don't like wearing it because it's a pullover. I made the neck a little too tight, but if I cut it, there's no steeks, but if I cut it and I put on a button band, I might like it. And then it's already knit, so I could definitely pull that off before Rhinebeck. And maybe if I get this done, I'll do that anyway, so I have something to wear for Saturday and Sunday. I don't know. It's an Icelandic wool sweater, yoke sweater. It's really beautiful. It's on my project pages if you want to check it out. And I guess that's it for this week. Follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting pictures of this sweater. I'm sure everyone's tired of seeing it. I hope not, because you're going to see me in it in Rhinebeck. Oh, and I was worried about the length, but here's the length. So here's my pants. So you saw my belly button, but it's going to come like it's going to come right to the top of the pants. And I'm thinking maybe I'll just wear like a turtleneck underneath and it'll look fine. So it's a little shorter than I would have liked, but it's okay. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with me for almost 40 minutes, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Shall we? For now.